Hi everybody, it's Carol Cox. We're Carol Anthony Cox, sponsored by Delane Wilson in Tallahassee, to Kenneth Drayton here, Andrea Gonzalez here, to Compton Nada Prasad here, and goes all the way up to Shauna and Sanjeev Sahat. And y'all didn't clap. Oh. Thank you. Okay, so today's Pase is product and system education. Today is Saturday the 21st, and we're first going to bring up Jaleesa. She's going to do products for us. Are you ready, Jaleesa? Mic check.
Yeah.
Woo.
Ready. Yes, sir, Bob. Let us know when you're seeing it. Are you guys seeing it at all? The presentation?
We see your calendar.
Okay. Okay. All right, let me just duplicate it then. Or not. Yes. This before you. All right. It'll give me 2 seconds then. All right. Y'all can see it now?
Yep.
Praise God. All right. This one. Okay. Could you guys still see it?
Yep.
Praise God. Thank you. All right. Go right ahead, Jaleesa. You could go over there and you can look at the team. Yes, this team down here. And both teams. Yeah. You look all right. Go ahead.
Silly, you guys are showing the presenter's view. We need to see the other page.
Oh, okay. You got it. Good. Is it better now?
Right. Very
Awesome.
good.
All right.
Okay, well, good evening, everyone. Once again, my name is Jaleesa Windress, proudly sponsored by Roger McKenzie, all the way up to Rodney Wilson, and Celia Wilson, all the way up to Kenneth and Andrea Gonzalez, to our Big Up Crowns, soon to be Miss Nadia and Campta Prasad, all the way up to Sanjeev and Shauna Sahai. So I'll be presenting to you guys today the essentials by artistry. So you can go to the next slide. Okay, so this will be the bundles that I will be focusing on. This is actually the acne, the anti-acne bundle. The PVBB is not up there, but I'm just going to read you guys what it is. And so the bundle for the retail cost, it is $55.35. The IBO cost is $45.61, and the PVBB for that is $14.45 and $45.61. And of course, you see all the all the good fruits on that side. That's pretty much what it all comprises of. They go to the next one. Okay, so the first one I'm going to present, it will be the gel cleanser.
Could you guys hear her?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys can hear her?
We can hear you.
Beautiful.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so for the gel cleanser, most of it is pretty much water-based, as you can see there. It is a healthy pH balance for your skin, and 97% reduction in oil after first use, and 84% reduction in oil after 60 minutes.
Wow.
It contains zinc. It's a PCA to suppress oils in the skin. Ladies or males can use it as well. For ladies, it removes makeup. So, if you don't have like any makeup wipes or anything like that, don't freak out because this gel cleanser actually helps with the makeup and clogging as well, pore clogging, and to take off all the excess oils. Helps control oils and reduces shine as well. And the cleanser, it cleanses and tones in one step, leaving a healthy pH balance, as said. And the difference between Essentials by Artistry and Artistry Hydro V, products is that the Essentials by Artistry products are designed for younger, oily skin types and are specifically formulated to provide oil control benefits. And for the Hydro V, the products is placed an emphasis on just basically hydration. So the difference is just hydration and then just oily skin. Okay, you can go to the next one. Okay, so the pore refreshener. So very interesting. It's actually gluten-free.
Gluten-free,
yes.
Gluten-free.
Yes.
Okay, great stuff.
So it was not added to this product. It's free of sulfate and surfactants. It minimizes and reduces the appearance of pores on the skin. It reduces severity of blemishes and allows skin to heal as well. And as you can see at the bottom, it diminishes and controls acne blemishes, whiteheads, and blackheads as well, and it unclogs pores. For the retail price for this is $19.50. The ideal cost is $16.58, and the PVBB, excuse me, is $5.28 and $16.58.
Nice.
Okay. Alrighty, so the anti-acne gel treatment is allergy tested on sensitive skin as well. It penetrates pores and it cleans most acne blemishes. It reduces the number of blackheads and whiteheads, and it doesn't over dry your skin, which is really good, and it's also oil free. So this is pretty much what it all comprises of. It's very easy, it's fast, effective, and it is affordable. Just a personal testimony for me. Also, with this system, it actually taken and replaced to the Clear Now system because they actually stopped using the Clear Now. And so they recommend this this system actually for your face. And I actually, you know, I tried it out and I was like, well, you know, I didn't really have acne on my face, but you know, there was like 1 or 2 blemishes that I just didn't, you know, wasn't too fond of. And I actually tried this system. I really love it. It's very light on my face, not heavy product at all. It smells great. And I didn't have they also have the makeup wipes as well. Everything smells good. Everything smells absolutely fresh, and I definitely have seen a tremendous, you know, change in my skin tone. Definitely with the different blemishes that I have, you know, those blemishes are pretty much gone, and my face is becoming much more even now. So yeah, I've been on the system for less than a month for sure, and you know, I've already seen a lot of changes, you know, in these products. So this is just pretty much the Essentials by Artistry. So if you don't have it, ladies, it's a must. Fellas, I mean, you can try it as well. I'm sure if you guys have any blemishes or anything like that, but, you know, for the ladies, for sure, it is a really, really awesome system. So yes.
Awesome. Awesome. Good stuff. Yes, that's it from us, I think it is. Back to the host. Oh, are there any testimonies? I know Virginia. Yeah. Yes, Virginia, we know about you. Large up yourself. Boom, big idiot. Virginia did a fantastic job just to let the team know. You should be the one. I'm not. Yes.
Yeah, she'd be the one.
Yeah, no, Virginia had Virginia's used the product already, and she went and promoted it. We needed her help in promoting it to William's mother, and she used the wipes and the products on her. So Virginia, if you mind, you wanted to share with us the feedback from it, even after you've used it, what your customers and William's mom feedback was to while you were working with her.
My face just said.
Hey, look at that. Fire.
Hi everyone. Again, my name is Virginia King, and I've been proudly sponsored in the business. I really got you, and up to the whole great upline here. up to, you know, Nadia and Kanta Pasad, and up to the whole Galaxy. The one thing that I love about this product is that really what Jelicia said is even tone your skin.
Wow.
And I can see that the difference now. Look at this.
Yes.
Hey.
Hey, 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 hey.
Just saying.
Yeah, security guard on now.
That's it. But one thing for sure, when I bought it, I was actually using Hydro V. So I was kind of, I don't want to switch, so they said I just stick to one, you know, product that you'll be using just to see how effective that is on your skin tone. But I say, okay, one thing I can do is just buy the, you know, the wipes. So sometimes you come home, you're tired, you want to go and, you know, read up and do your, you know, a daily activity, so you don't really have time to wash and do all the whole, you know, makeup setup before you go to sleep. So what you do is you just, I just take the wipe, and for me, it didn't smell anything. It was very fresh. And when I put it on the skin, it just takes the whole makeup off. And then it let the skin, the pore on my skin, because during the day, you know, you work, you go, you sweat, and at the end of the day, sometimes you can have some breakout because you haven't washed your face. Because at least they say that you need to fresh up your face at least twice a day to kind of help the pore, you know, your skin be more effective when it comes to makeup. Because makeup actually kind of when you have all the blemish, yeah, it closes the pores. Nice. So to make sure that you have all those taken care of, you have to have a routine, a daily routine. So all day you are home, and after that you have to do the business, because that's the best part.
Yes.
Right. So when you get home, what I do is the wipe was useful for me when I'm to kind of not go to the routine, and when I actually use it to William's mom, she loved it, and actually her sister actually loves it as well. I met her at the mall, and she was saying, "Oh, I love all the product that you have, and you know, I need to use it." But the basic thing is fresh. It didn't have any odor for when I smell it, but it just really refreshes my skin. And it takes all the dirt. Like, you can actually touch your skin, and it's smooth and supple. So for me, I think I'm going to stick to the Hydro V for now. I'm not going to switch, and I'm going to use the wipe just to be able to you know, to use it when I don't feel like doing the whole setup.
All right. Got you. All right, that's it for Tallahassee right now.
Move on, stream.
Oh, everybody give me a welcome to Williams on streaming. Woo!
Yes, sirree. Yes, sirree.
Crickets. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming here. My sponsor is Tianya Brown. My sponsor is Roderick McKenzie, Alita Rodney, Celie Wilson, and our great, you know, soon to be platinum emerald crown ambassadors, Nata and Nata, Nadia and Comfortable Side.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
So I'm gonna do streaming. And I only got 5 minutes, but I just want to express the importance of streaming. Well, the reason why streaming is important, because, you know, a stream a day, it keeps the doctor away. That's what my philosophy I came up with. And one stream I was listening to is McKay, Ahmad, and Yusuf Ali, their Diamond Success Story, and they talked about, you know, of course, their story. They talked about the law of assumption, where the unseen controls the seen, and that's what Bill Britt has said. You know, you assume your feelings of your dreams, and you seeing them fulfilled. but you deny your senses. You deny like the reality, or you deny what takes away from those dreams, and you speak as if you are living those dreams. And if you speak anything less, you take away from your dreams. But so the importance of streaming is because you're always getting that morning educational dosage. You're always learning. So when you're learning something, you're more want to go put it out into action. So in my opinion, you're always in business mode sometimes, but you know it or not. And the best time to stream is right before you go to bed, right when you wake up, anytime you have downtime, or anytime like if you're on commute to work or to school or anything like that could be used. A little portion of your time could be used to streaming. Anytime that you're listening to music, you could be streaming. And you get on the stream by getting share talks, getting CDs, getting up for the streaming, and this is also important because McKay, Ahmad, Ali, they said that they're from Somalia, which is like, this is my personal background from like Somalia as a country. It's a third world country, and it's a lot of poor people, and just they're trying to make it. They're trying to make some they're making honest living, and even in that area there's been piracy where they steal big ships and you try to get ransom money out of it. But they're from Somalia, and they came over. And the country had nothing, and they were able to go diamond, and push through. And if they say that if they can do it and they can barely speak English, you can be able to do it. And I'm gonna play a little snippet of it. Where's the microphone? Okay, should be there. Let's see what happens. Let me turn it up real quick. No, not that one. Let me turn it up really good.
Can you close your eyes? Can you feel it? Can you feel your goal? Can you feel your time and day? Can you feel, at least can you see yourself in new plan and recognize? Can you see that? Stay there for me. Now, slowly open your eyes. Watch this. The second part of the law says, deny the senses. Bill produced to say, speak as if you already have what you got. And don't speak that which you have, which you don't want. I said, Bill, hello, what are you saying? You're saying I'm broke. Yeah, but you don't want to, don't speak it. How do I communicate with my wife if I can't tell her we're broke? He says, don't. Speak that what you want. I'm a diamond. And here's what we hear. The law, what we hear is this. You get what you speak. Wrong. You don't get what you speak. Because if you get what you speak, Khan can say that a long time ago. Go to your garage and say, I'm a Honda. See, how long does it take you to become a Honda? Never. You don't get what you speak. You get what you feel when you speak. So the secret is the feeling. When you feel platinum, when you feel diamond, when you feel retired, when you feel quitting your job, when you feel your whole team fill up the Colosseum. Here's the second part. Here's the difficult part of this law. Deny the senses. Because when I felt this, and I felt, I'm wealthy. I got 6 figures in this account, 6 figures in that account, make this account wealthy, financially walking away. And boom, I opened my eyes. 2 of my guys quit and my account is negative. Here's what most people do.
Right.
Instead of denying the senses is what you're feeling right now in reality. They look at this, they observe this reality, and they feel the lack, and the law brings more of the same. And they say, this thing don't work. I've been speaking. You've been speaking one thing, but you're feeling the other. Can you deny the reality? Can you see yourself at your pin level? How do you do that? I give you a simple instruction. You need to deny the senses, because once you assume as a new platinum, you have to inflate that assumption. You have to stay that there. How do you do that? You create the feeling. You look at your platinum sheet. You said, you find out the platinum being recognized at the open. You take the rate, bam, help me work on brand new platinum. Cut the big shit before they say their name. Bam, put your name. And every night, watch it. Because your mind does not know the difference, and the laws of assumption and the laws of attraction do not respond.
That's just a little snippet, but But yeah, so I had a chance to listen to this stream as I was walking. So and it really hit me like, well, yeah, the law of assumption. That's we write this down. That's a good nugget. So remember that the law of assumption. You can say I'm a diamond, I'm a diamond, I'm a diamond, I'm a diamond, I'm a diamond. That's good and all. But it's it's the feeling, and I'm pretty sure he hit that like 3 times. So when you get a chance, go back and listen over it.
What was the streaming number?
The streaming, it's on Share Talk.
Okay, all right.
So it doesn't tell me, but it's
okay, no problem.
It's a diamond success story. If you want to take a look how it looks, screenshot.
That's
Oh, need that one.
All right.
All right.
Awesome. Great stuff. Great stuff.
Great job, great job. We're gonna keep it moving and bring up Trey here in Atlanta for the book. Y'all help me bring up Trey.
Yeah.
I'm back.
It's me in the flesh, guys. It's been a while, but anyways, it's good to be here. Glad to see you all. I can't see any of you, but at least I can see these already. Anyway, I've been reading this book here.
Who you sponsored by?
Let me take it back a little bit. I haven't been up in a while. I'm proudly sponsored by this is Siona Singh, down all the way in South Florida, all the way up to this amazing couple we have sitting right here before us. And I'm Trey Trumbull, for those of you who didn't know. And I'm reading this book here, Wisdom for Winners. And I'm going to share a few jewels I got from this book with you guys, if you don't mind. And so let me bring out my phone here. Anyways, this is just a few things I got from this book, and this is one of them. It says, price is what you pay and value is what you get. And to me, that basically, what they're trying to say there, as far as that goes, is like, you can pay a certain amount for something, but like, what kind of return does it have in your actual life? Like, you can buy a $300,000 car, but I mean, what did you actually get back? It still goes from point A to point B like a 10,000 car does, like I got outside right now. And let's see what else do I have here. What you buy with your money better be worth it to you, because you invested one day of your life to get it. And for those of you who work the 9 to 5, like I still do, unfortunately, in this very moment, it's like you really don't understand like how you're spending your money. Like you might say, oh, it's just $10, it's just a drink or whatever. You keep thinking like that, and that $10 will quickly turn to $100. And so you must first adjust your mindset, on your spending habits to get the financial results you desire. Acquiring wealth and assets is a byproduct of doing work that creates value in the lives of others. And that's also what we're all doing here right now, is we're trying to spread what we're doing here and create value in the lives of everyone else. And, I know we stress this every week about work, but, for some people who don't like reading, it only takes a few minutes. And it's not about how fast you read, because I read very slow. I can read fast. Like, this book isn't very long at all. I could have read this book in maybe like a day, but I wouldn't have gotten anything from it. And so, like, I feel like you can just, like, me personally, I've been like, I'm only on like chapter 7 or something, but I've been getting actually a lot from it. And so that's why I actually recommend the book to you all. You guys take a good look at it so you can check it out. Wisdom for Winners.
Awesome.
Siona actually got this for my birthday.
Good stuff.
And then also, I don't know if many of you guys know this, but Warren Buffett, who's one of the richest men in the world, spends 80% of his day reading. And so that goes to show you like how vital it is. And Bill Gates also reads an average of 50 books a year. Yeah, for those of you who didn't know. And also, what I want to share with you all. And also, like, guys, just continue to do the right thing, because after you actually become the kind of person who's doing the right thing, you will inevitably have all the stuff and things you want. So, like, don't try and take any shortcuts or anything of that nature, or try and screw people over to get what you want, because it'll only, it'll only come back to haunt you in the end. And so that's just a few things I want to share with you guys.
Awesome. And great job, great job. Everybody, please read. Don't make no excuses. You have to do it. It's part of the business. So now we're gonna keep going for the huddle. C-Lane gonna do the BP2, and she's going to talk about the follow-up too.
Awesome.
So let's go, C-Lane, y'all. Get your pen and paper.
Just give Celia a few seconds.
Okay.
Y'all can see me in the meantime. Right?
Okay.
Nobody want to see you, bro.
I don't want to see me. You ready to huddle?
Can I give y'all a commercial break?
It's a huddle though, right? Commercial break. Go ahead.
Okay, so today I did my MS walk. I'm very proud of that. And I raised $149. So I'm excited. That was my commercial break. Oh, and I didn't fall and I didn't trip. I'm so excited about that. But and I had a good time. So and I got some great people to walk, with me too. So it was fun. I just wanted to say that. That was a commercial break.
Don't know why I had to use the restroom like 1 second before you finish. So sorry about that. Great job, Trey. Hi, I'm Celia Wilson. Proudly sponsored in business by Kenneth J. and Andrea Gonzalez, right there next to you guys in Georgia. Then up to Sanjeev and no, I can't miss the big people them. No, my bad. Come to Anadi Prasad. I think I'll keep walking up. No man, we love you plenty. Come back, come to. All right, so I know we're really short on time, and I will send some good hugs through the the phone later this afternoon. Very honored and privileged to be on the PDAT stage talking about BP2 follow-up 2 situation, right? A part of the new process. It's a huddle and play. So I'm going to quickly do a quick, probably 5 to 10 minutes on what I understand it to mean from the CDs and stuff on the streams. And then we're going to, I'll just host you guys giving your feedback on the exact same thing. Welcome back round. Sorry about that. So yes. Sorry about that. But yes. Okay, so I'm going to talk about BP2. It stands for board plan, as we all know. Board plan 2. Hey team, to be quite honest, the board plans are very good, straightforward, very similar to the original when we used to show the plan, but we use a really great presentation method using the slides. Kumar and Kamtan and Kenneth with Sanjeev came up with a fantastic way to put all of that great content in slides. So we all use a presentation folder, and I should show it. Anybody has a folder here? Mine is over there. But yeah, I'll show you guys the presentation. Oh, it's right here, literally. Right, so we have this presentation folder where what we use, right? William, you mind clicking this picture right here for us? So that it's looking, yeah, thanks. So right here, we have our presentation slides. So we don't have to spend a lot of time. Thank you, you got it. So we don't have to spend a lot of time writing and stuff like that, and we can spend a lot more time connecting with people. So business board plan 2 is really that, showing the full plan again. It is the second look of the opportunity, okay? And it's a full thing, it's not a napkin plan, which is the shortened version without the numbers, right? So, but what to lead up to the board plan 2, you wanted, that comes, is your, you just had a follow-up 1, right? So you want to make sure your follow-up 1 is tight, and at the end of the follow-up 1, you lead them properly into your board plan 2. So a lot of the success of board plan 2 depends on how strongly you were able to tell them why the heck do you need to be there for board plan 2. And what we usually say is that, hey, you just read that great book, either Household Gold or the Compound Effect or what have you. You're reading that now, and you've all fully read Business of the 21st Century. We've had great conversations thus far, right? So with that, you have new information. So therefore, when you see what we found is when people see the opportunity again in its full glory, you are able to absorb and even have more questions for us at the end as you better internalize what we do, right? And usually they like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, so when you prepare them properly, you end up having a strong showing at your BP2. What we have found is that once people know why they're coming to something or doing something, they will have throughput. You know what I mean? They'll actually come. So the other thing too, so prepare them properly, tell them how to dress, okay? Tell them to come there on time, tell them who they're going to meet. The who is extremely important, okay? You know, for me, I'm not blessed like you guys have my uplines in the same city. So what I do a lot of is to promote the leaders here in town, you know, and talk about their successes. The good news is they're all winning in their different areas of life. So what I do, whoever I'm working with, I identify a leader that it compares very nicely to what that person's skill set might be or what challenges they've overcome already, so that I could marry the two. So say, hey, you gotta come meet Roderick, or you gotta come meet Rodney. He has done X, Y, Z, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, what? I was like, yeah. Okay. So and then I also asked them, is there anything that would prevent you from being there? So I clear any things and possible red flags before. Okay. Now at the BP2, and our team, we want at least a BP1 or at least the BP2 to be the open meeting. Okay, but it does not have to. According to the streams you've listened to, a board plan 2 can be done on a one-on-one. But our team has seen a lot of success with at least one of the board plans being the open meeting. So if you and you guys in the Atlanta, Georgia area, you guys have some best leaders doing board plans. So take advantage of it. Now, the only reason that we might have a board plan being done one-on-one is to make sure that we don't have too much lag time between meetings, right? Just as Camta always tells us, even though it's a 7-step process, it should not take 7 weeks, right? We should try our best to fold the time and do, so in other words, after your follow-up one, if your follow-up one is done like Wednesday or something like that, you know, so therefore you're trying to invite them to the board plan 2, right? Okay. You realize that's a whole week to the open meeting. So what you can do is pull some of your other follow-up ones together and have a whole meeting to be a board plan 2, right? So check with your leaders and see if you guys have people around the same timeline in your in the process, and see how best you can put together. And if not, you have your board plan 2 by yourself with that person. All right. So and schedule it. So this as a leader, when you're sitting back down, you want to look at your schedule and the people you're working with. Camta always tells us to do this. Look at your schedule and see when is the next meeting, and make sure you. So he talks about how having to schedule his MG1s on a certain day so that they're in time for the open meeting on Tuesday, right? So that requires planning as a business owner. Okay, so that's just that. After board plan 2, and the Gala team recommends the Kevin and Bell preparing for partnership, a success story of your choice, and the Billbrit CD. Okay, there has to be a cause. Those 3 things are the 3 CDs or share talks that are recommended, right? So Kevin Bell preparing for partnership, which is a share talk, a success story of your choice. What does that mean of your choice? You kind of need to know what's on it, right? So that you can relate it to the people that you're working with. All right, that has not changed. We are a relationship building entity, right? So you want to make sure that you're always relating to people. The other thing too on Billbridge, right? And then the other thing too, now I'm going to talk a little bit about follow-up too. Okay, so what I have seen on my follow-up too is these resources are priceless. Follow-up 2 by Vinny and Dana Papalado, BWW 1853, and the one I absolutely love, which is a little bit more methodical and has a lot of mindset together with process and steps, is step 6, follow-up 2 by that cute couple. Shoot, what's their name? No, it's the other girl, and I think I have it here written. Is Tyler and Brittany Madsen. Tyler and Brittany Madsen, they have a fantastic audio at BWW 1954. Everybody should listen to that. Even those who are only at the MG2 of your business, my recommendation is to listen to that, because a lot of the things that they talk about in that stage, they say they even ask some of those questions in their MG2. Okay, so my recommendation is you definitely listen to that. Now, just some personal feedback from my experiences going through the process. Listen and hear what the people them saying. even if you don't like what you're hearing. Okay, that was a big takeaway from me from my last one I just did this week. The person in my follow-up one or something like that, they had asked a nice question. I was like, okay, cool. The question is like, hey, can we get this mentorship if we don't do Amway? Now I'm hearing that question and I was like, why the heck would you not want to do Amway? Like, who does that? And still want the mentorship, right? And I knew during the MG1s and stuff, like, they were very passionate about real estate. But what they found, they told me and they shared with me is that, hey, even though we're doing real estate, we have no mentor there. We don't have anybody telling us and guiding us. And I did share with them, I am not a real estate expert, but I can just share with you what my mentors have taught me, you know, who have done it and why they still choose to do the Amway opportunity together with that, okay? So I heard that question, we briefly talked about it, but I didn't fully, like, you know, address it, right? So when it came back to, they were like, well, we really like you, Celia, and we really want the mentorship, but we don't want to do Amway. It's like, and I was like, and that's a flag to that, even though I kind of addressed it in my head, I was like, why would you? So it didn't feel like it needed to be like you just, you know? So, so anyway, so my point I'm trying to make is, because the thing about it is, I always like to talk to the team about this, that the process is to save us as business owners. It's not them. It is not them. It's to save us time and money. Okay, time and money. Because once if I had addressed that and realized that they just want to read some good books, I should have, you know what I mean? And after we talked about it hardcore, then I would have been able to say, yo, then it sounds like this is not something you really want to pursue and you just want mentorship. Let me talk to my mentors and see what we can do. And not even have them go to BP2 and, you know what I mean? And CD and all. Even though that didn't personally cost me money, it cost me time. Right? So let's address it even if you don't like what you're hearing. The other thing too is when you're hearing red flags, most of us are very passionate about our businesses. And we listen to a lot of strong CDs. Do not get confrontational, even though some of our uplines are very strong in what they do. And when they tell you on an audio, rat-a-tat-tat-tat, you don't go into the section, rat-a-tat-tat-tat. You know what I mean? You calm down. So my bullet to myself, calm down. Even if the person is not making any sense. Okay? Because people do not make a decision to do Amway, from what I've heard, on logic. It's based on emotions. Okay? So they will lie to you and tell you stuff. But really and truly, the emotion isn't there. So don't get confrontational. Don't feel some kind of way. Don't take it personally. Oh, okay. You got it. You got it. The other thing too that I have learned as well while I go through my follow-up too is, how do I feel when I'm leaving that meeting? Am I still happy, joyful, excited, very proud of my performance? You know, and if I'm not feeling that way, then I have to ask myself why and talk to myself kind of thing and do some self-analysis. Did I feel that I was too strong? Did I feel I was too weak? Did I feel I got slapped up or otherwise? And then talk to your mentor about that, about how to make sure that, because Kenneth always told me in this business, it's a feelings business. So if you're feeling your frequency got moved, figure out why. Because regardless of what's going on around you, as we read our books, we stay centered. Zen is there. So just be mindful of that. Right. So make sure to do introspection after every single one, every single follow-up, to ask yourself, did I do, you know, just check yourself. Don't just keep going through them. Yeah. Okay. Last couple of points, and then I'll bring you guys up some other feedback, personal experience. What does trust look like? Right? Because we're building that, right? MG1 and MG2 is we building this trust. Kamta and Nadia are freaking awesome at that. They keep showing off when they tell us the results. Yeah, very good at that. So you want to make sure that you're doing what your uplines do. So the question is, what does trust? What does the metric look like when I'm doing it right? And for me, while I go through these, I notice that if these guys I'm working with are they being brutally honest with me, even if it makes them look bad. Even if it makes them look bad, that they're slacking, they're not the best that they know they can be, are they brutally honest to tell me that? And if they're not, that means I have not created enough of a nice safe space for them to share. You see what I'm saying? So personally, that's what I've realized, okay? And not all candidates know how to discuss an issue and show that they're open for mentorship. So sometimes when people tell you, hey, I have this coming up on yada, 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 and you're trying to listen to see if they're open for mentorship, sometimes you just don't know how to say that they are. So we have to get good at asking questions to see where their mind is at. Okay, and then my last point, in the follow-up too, they had really good points, very good points. So address some of these even in our MG2s. Handling deployment, people going out of the country or wherever. How do they handle tragedy or loss? Do they just go MIA and tap out and what have you? Or would they reach out to a mentor, right? These are certain questions and discussions that I realize are necessary. I missed some of these, and therefore when I was going through the process with some people, they just went ghost. You see what I'm saying? So I realized some of these questions are really good for upfront. So listen to the Tyler and Brittany Madison stream and get those questions. I wouldn't have enough time to go through because I really want to hear from you guys. Okay, with that, I'll open the floor up to other people who have from fantastic feedback. All right. Oh, the CDs, yes, good question. The CDs are Tyler, I'm gonna start with Tyler. Tyler and Brittany are BWW 1954. Yes, so real quick, sorry. This thing that Kenneth put together, it's on here. Oh, yes, yeah. It's on here. So the good news is I'm just repeating what we were supposed to have listened to, kind of thing. And what I found listening to even if you've only done an MG2 up to a follow-up one, listen to all of them. Because a lot of this stuff later on would help you do the ones earlier better. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? I didn't listen to Tyler and them on in ahead of schedule. If not, I would have asked those questions a little tougher, higher up, personally. So I learned that. Liquor wounds, that's like good point. Because I had another one on Thursday. The girl says she is abhorrent to network marketing. She read the book already. Read the book, loved what she read. And I'm like, how could you read the book, love what you read, and then you say you're abhorrent to the thing? People don't sense, guys. I say, right? So what I needed to do better is to make sure that I ask more questions. Even if somebody answered a question, yes, I'm open to different ways of making money. Don't just leave it at that. Don't let them just say yes and run with it. Let them truly make a case for themselves how that answer that they've just given you is not just talk. So I'll pass this around so you guys can get the scene numbers. Oh, gotcha. So I'm opening up the floor for those in Atlanta and anybody else to give us your feedback on how you have executed your BP2s and follow-up takeaways.
Okay, anybody get BP2? Follow-up to? Well, our this thing on? Yeah. Yeah, the BP2s we have here in Atlanta, the majority of the BPs have been the open meeting. I have one BP, I have a BP1 that's going to be a one-on-one. And so it's just going to be the traditional STP, right. And the follow-up tools that I have done, have been good, it's basically going through the money part of it, and laying it out in a nice way. You guys have seen the slide already, but not telling them this is what it costs and that's what it costs, but promoting why you need it and how it's going to help you and why is it an investment rather than an expense, and basically making sure that there are no red flags. Because if they launch with red flags, those red flags don't belong to them, they belong to you. So you got to make sure that the questions, and it doesn't have to be in question format. It can be you could just reach the topics, and go ahead and ask the questions. In fact, I had a sheet of paper here I wanted to share, but I don't know if I have it here with me. Because I went through, I think I went through MG1 and looked at the 10 questions and they were asking, but I went behind the questions, and that's what we gotta mentally do. Go behind the question and ask, why are they asking that question? Like, for instance, the question, why did you agree to meet with me? You don't have to ask the question, but you gotta understand why is it they're proposing that we ask the question. And the reason why they're proposing why we ask the question is that what I'm trying to tell you, and you could tell them in any way or share with them in a very connecting way, I am not here to buy, to sell. I'm here to buy. You know, so you put in posture in the beginning, but posture is not anger or aggressive. You know, so if you go through each one of those questions in BP1, BP2, whatever, the questions they're suggesting, it's the reason behind the questions that you got to understand. And you could broach that topic in question format, either with the standard that they're using or with your own question or as a topic, as a matter of topic, you know. And in the old way of doing things, in the invite, you know, we had scripts to how to invite. And a new IBO would start with that script, but they wouldn't stick with the script because then they will personalize it. So the questions they have in the streams are not meant for you to use for the rest of your life. It's just a starting point. And the difference with this framework is that now we have a starting point where everybody can start from, but you quickly translate it and transform it into your own, you know, your own verbiage, your own style and everything. But now we have, at least we have a starting point, you know, and that's the advantage of the process, is that there's a starting point where everybody can start from, you know. So that's my...
Right, and thanks for reminding me of that, Kenneth. I forgot to mention that when we are working with, we've done, forgot to talk about the good follow-up tools we've actually done and gotten through with. And we actually used one of this slide. You actually posted it to the PDAT. I know you're probably in the process of making an updated version of it, because I know some of you what the PDAT team uses, but I personally used it to walk through the financial commitments required.
I have no, why do I need to update that?
Okay. I know Nadia, and Nadia, I think Nadia saw some tweets.
If you listen to the CD and it says team meeting, we don't have team meeting.
Does it have team meeting on it?
Yes, it says $7.
Yeah, okay. Any other errors in it?
No, it's not an error, it's just that they talk about team meeting, but we don't have team meeting. Now
I got that from Sanjeev. So
yeah, well, they have team meeting in Jersey. We don't have team meeting out there yet.
Not
yet, but we will be having one soon. I spoke with Sanjeev today. And by the way, if you want to know, he did a great job today again, as usual. Let's give Ms. Carol a round of applause for the whole thing. And Lisa with the products there. And I want to show you, this is my testimony to the products right here. Let me just my testimony for my products, you see, right here.
Empty.
Yeah, this
Exactly,
is it. It's an empty piece of my girl street, and they use the products. All right, I don't need that. This was supposed to be mine.
Well, you got the tube, there's not stuff in it.
Yeah. Wonderful, great stuff. Great. But and you notice when Jaleesa was showing the slide on the corner there, Kenneth and I noticed it, that these products is 25% less costly than clinic products.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And the quality is
real affordable.
Right, very affordable.
And
you know?
nice.
Hello.
So good on your skin. Yeah.
And then William on the streaming, man, that was great stuff. Right? Great stuff on the streaming. And Trey is back.
Yeah.
And he's back here now fully. Congratulations, brother.
Woo!
All right. And the huddling for the BP2 and the follow-up too. And we got a lot of good information, but listen, I don't want there to be any misunderstandings or conflicts in anything that we're talking and teaching. It's all about huddling, okay? For me, myself personally, again, I can only talk from things that I do as we go through the process. Like when I meet someone and they drop the message, I'm asking them, are you open to other ways of making money? Right? Yes or no? Or
Yes.
options? So when we meet, I'm not asking them, why did you agree to meet with me? Right? Because I asked them already if they're looking to make money. So why are they meeting with me? To find out how to make money.
Right.
So why am I going to ask them that again? I don't do that. So, but it's like Kenneth was saying, there may be a reason behind why they're asking that question. Will lead to the next question. Okay? Remember, it's a framework. You can use the questions or you cannot use the question. Right? So that's what I do. Now we're talking about I will go more into the follow-up too, because Nadia and I just finished 2 follow-up twos this week here. One for Denzel, for Miss Carol, and they got an offer launch from Sanjeev. And we did one with Elisa today for Reggie, and we spoke with Sanjeev, and we gave her the offer call. She's actually getting started when.
Saturday.
Would you like to come up here, sweetheart? So let's talk about it. Yeah, the bottom line of the process is still getting results. Okay, that's the bottom line. You want results. Okay, and also, what is the purpose of the follow-up to? Right? Yes, it's about addressing the red flags and all of that stuff. But at the end of your follow-up, do you want to have a launch offer? Right?
Yes.
Okay, so you want to
well, basically, at the follow-up to both of the ones that we have done this week, once we went through all the financial, the obligations.
No, before you get out to the financial.
Well, basically, when we met again.
Let me talk because with Julissa, right? I never met her really to sit down with her. Now you had to take care of some personal business. She was coming a little bit later. So again, I built a little friendship with her, right? So I reached out to her, asked her, about her life or, family, where she's from. And, so we did a nice little rapport in there. And while we were talking, she was explaining to me how her vision is opening up. And there was a good connection there. We talked a little bit about her belief in God and, and all these type of things. So that's where we always start back with that friendship building part always, And so by the time Nadia came there, I already went through the time commitment, right? How much time you're going to have available to invest in the business. Her answer was, whatever free time I have, I'm putting into this business because she see this as a future, not only for herself to take care of her child, but she would like to retire her mom and dad. Okay? And so then Nadia came, and so want to pick it up now?
Well, basically, once we started talking again, she's actually very easy to talk to. So, building that bridge there from the last meeting to the next, it just became that much easier. She was sniffling. So I said to her, it sounds like you have, something going on there. So then of course, it was an opening for me to talk about the product. So I started talking about our vitamin C and how my whole house was, they had the flu, and I was the only one that didn't get it because I kept drinking my vitamin C and the immune health. So she was like, oh, do you have some of those? And I says, well, I'll have them for you on Tuesday. And then as she was leaving, so we sat down, I bought her some soup, and we sat down, we ate, and we're talking. At the end of all of this, then she followed me to my house and got the vitamin C, and I gave it to her today, and she started taking it. She texted and said, she was feeling a lot better. So, I mean, it was a good connection that we had. But again, going through all the stuff, that the finances and stuff, when people, and I've heard, who was that? One of the streaming I was listening to, I believe it was Dennis Napton. He said, if you find someone that is a type A personality, you'll be able to go through all the checks and balances with them, and they'll tell you exactly what you wanted to hear, and then you can get all the way to the end. And then if you don't have that relationship, it's not going to work. So basically, that friendship and relationship is very important, and it comes in time and in every step you build. So again, we went over all the information that, of course, the financial,
the legalistic part of it.
Yeah, the legalistic part of it, absolutely. The open meeting, what it takes to get started.
But as you were doing that, what was it that you were doing with her? Was it, want to explain to her the benefits?
Absolutely. For every one of the things that I went through, of course, I told her about the startup cost. And, you know, the startup cost, basically the $100 of Amway product that you get, you know, you get that to use and sample. All that stuff you still have to go through, guys. You have to go through all that. The $62 is for the licensing. And that means that you get your website, your retail website from Amway. And, you know, that protects you from anything if somebody uses a product. And that's something that we rarely talk about, but it's really, really important. If someone uses a product and they break out or they swell up or whatever, you know, whatever the case is, you're not liable for that. And that $62 that you pay is an insurance there that you're paying towards as well, so that it takes care of all that. You don't have to worry about the legal issues on any of that stuff. And that's pretty important, because when you're running a business, you want to make sure that you're not going to be, if something didn't work out for somebody, nobody's coming after you. And that's a big thing, right? So I covered that part of it, and she was like, oh, that makes sense. Then we went through the other part. We went through the BWW part. And of course, I started saying, you know, why streaming, you know, and I asked her if the book helped that she read. And she says yes, and she's in the process right now of reading the Compounding Effect. And then, of course, when she left today, I gave her the household goal. So basically, by the time she's ready for launching, she's already read all the books. You know, we're gonna forward her the streamings for the ones that she has to get for today. But she's, you know, very good student, and she's willing, humble, all the stuff they said, smart, willing. Able, everything, yeah. Basically, she's ready. And so she says, when can I get launched? And I said to her, well, of course, we made our call to our upline, and that's something that we've been doing for every one of the launch. We call Sanjeev and Shauna, and we let them know. So this way, it is all very official. You know, when we say you got the offer call, you get it from the upline. And so that's what we did. We called Sanjeev and Shauna. Of course, Sanjeev spoke with her to a good 5-7 minutes and went through a lot of the stuff, you know, asking her different questions. I was very proud of her answers, because it sounds like we did what we're supposed to do in all of the checks and balances, of course, as Sanjeev was asking her. And then he asked her about her dreams, and she just went on and on about talking about why she's so passionate about getting started in the business. So, of course, at that point, Sanjeev got back on the phone, said to Kamta, I think she's ready to go. And so then I said to her, so when would you want to launch your business? And of course she says, well, can I do it next Saturday? And I said, sure, you know. So we set up a time. She's going to come to the house. It's a family event. I told her, you know, at this point, because she's been asking me all along, can she bring her son? So I said, well, now you can bring your son, you can even bring your mom, you know, it's okay, because it's a launching of their business. So I said, you know, I'm sure your mother would want to know who the people that you're, you know, hanging out with and associate with. So it is okay to bring them.
What I'm trying to get in all these things that everybody is talking, whenever we're huddling, I want, what is that feeling? Okay, so could you explain or say when she was talking about when she's ready to launch, what was
she was very excited. Right. Mm-hmm. She was very excited. She was bubbling, like, you know, so tell me, what do I need to bring? What do I need to get? How much money, you know, and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So she was really like, you know, basically ready. And if I had said you could get launched today, she probably would have said, okay, I'm ready. But of course, I told her, let's set up a date, because launching is basically a process. You have to go through. You have to go through, and I wouldn't combine any of these steps together.
What did you tell her also? It was like,
I told her it's a happy event. Right. You know, bring your mom, bring your child.
What was her reaction?
She was happy. She was really ecstatic. She was enthusiastic about the whole thing. She's actually can't wait to put this all together. And she has a lot of Hispanic people who don't speak English. So
could you tell them about the book she was reading? How her friend.
Oh, and she was reading, well, one of her friends doesn't speak English. She's doing
a lot of reading now.
And he doesn't speak English. So she said she was reading in the book, and then she started reading to him. And he said, well, I don't understand what you're saying. So she started reading in Spanish. And of course he said, keep reading, because that sounds really good. So, which means that we need to get Spanish. We need to get Spanish books for them.
I have three of the Spanish ones.
Okay.
Perfect.
This is the 21st.
Good, bring it.
You'll need that.
It costs $200.
All right.
Are you sure? What's the outside?
Are you sure?
I got you up on.
That's 2,000 pesos.
Okay, so again, whatever resources that we have to help them to build, because the largest growing, and I kept reiterate every time we speak, is that the largest growing population in the Amway business is the Hispanic community. So let her know that we're ready to assist in any which way we can in terms of helping her to make this thing happen in a big way. So I think that's it.
Okay, so what I would like to if you all notice, if everybody who is following the process or part of the team should be having one of this package. And if you notice, for each part of it, it starts what? Spark of friendship. MG2, friendship and trust, right? Okay, build a rapport, right? Again, build. You see, there's a bunch of legalistic things that, right? But all throughout it, the first thing that it sees is what? Building and friendship and trust, connection. Okay, and I've learned about myself that I'm a great relational builder. I'm serious.
Yes.
When I sat with her today and most of the people lately, that's my strongest point now.
Yes.
Before I used to be legalistic, okay, I'll go through all of these things, explain to you why it's important, and that's it. Yeah, but now people, when there's a connection there, we having fun, but it's not like a comedy show, right? They keep saying thank you, appreciate it, right? And those things. And so I went through some of the things like also that you said, listen, what is your quitting point, right? What if something seriously happened to your mom? I asked her a specific question. What would you do? Would you go into the corner and get into a shell and think? She said, no, I'm a very religious person. I have strong belief in God. And I know whatever is happening, God is there to help me and all that stuff, And this is a squirrel out here trying to attack those birds.
Hey, Crown, we have one quick question.
Yes.
Crown, you are really awesome at building relationships. Is there anything that you could suggest to us so that we can get there? Anything that you've done, that you've worked on, that you've seen got you to this point, that you would say that really made an impact to get you here?
Well, for me personally, my personality, my facial features, my tone, right? I can say the same thing with somebody, like we were talking yesterday, Reggie and Willie and Kenneth, right? That I can say, well, how are you, right? We like to make some money. What we do is we take advantage of the paradigm shift in the internet, and but that's like very stern out, right? But I can say the same thing with like a smile in my voice. When I'm saying hi to somebody these days, is hello, how are you? Almost like a singing tone of voice. They come. Well, it's easy for Trinidadians, by the way, because most of the time they talk is like a singing. Right?
Every Trinidadian talk calypso.
This shouldn't be a problem for you, all right?
Yeah, man, Crown. Nobody's saying that we all trying to build up and get there. So some of us may have it up to the connection to get the number to start at MG1, right? Start at MG2, right? But what about throughout, so that there's no dead spaces or that, in the conversation? How do you guys keep the conversation flowing? Especially if that person isn't as verbose as, that we would like them to be. How do you guys keep it coming out?
Okay, so I did, let me tell you how I met this girl. She was cashing at TJ Maxx, and I went to shop there to buy something. Now, this girl asked me where I was from, right? So I figured she was probably from the island. She started telling me she's from Trinidad. Now, think about it. The space between, there's a big long line. You have like 2 seconds to talk to her. So I said to her, hey, I want to talk to you about something very important, because she was talking to me about Trinidad. in that space of time. And of course, all I'm thinking is business, Trinidad. I have a lot of island people in my business, so that's all I'm thinking. So I said to her, I said, listen, I have something really important that I wanted to talk to you about. Now is not the time, but hey, can I have a number where I can reach you? She wrote her number real quick on the receipt, gave it to me. I contacted her, met with her. And so when we met back now, yesterday, Thursday. Yeah, I met with her on Thursday. Now, there was no connection when we met, right? I just met her like 1 second and that was it. So now when we sat down, we started talking. That's when I got to know her, find out where she was from, find out, what kind of cuisine she liked, because I know we have the similar food, so we had that little thing there to bond on. And we just kept going. And then it was like, okay, after a minute, I'm like, going on and on and on and talking because there was so much to talk about. I had said, okay, so I had to transition into business. So it basically, the connection is whenever you meet somebody, you just find out about them. I didn't know anything about her except she's from Trinidad. So I knew I had a connection there, right? But if you meet somebody from, depending on what it is that when you talk to them about, keep a mental note about that. And I'll give you guys a great example. Kamta, last night we decided we're gonna, we had a down night last night after we came back in. It was about 8 o'clock. So we decided we're gonna watch a movie. So he had on his pajamas and he's like, I'm not taking off my pajamas. So we're going to Kroger's. So he put on his sneakers with his pajamas and a shirt. That's the Sport Authority. Nothing. He was like completely mismatched. And so we walked in and we're at the cash register and there's this guy buying Red Bull. Of course, Kamta was like, hey, you're going to drink that? So he's like, yeah. And goes, what kind do you drink? They sparked a conversation right there. The guy texted me his number because neither one of us had our phone. We were just like,
no business card, nothing.
I mean, we were just out, right? Like we're getting our snack and come back home.
All doing what, Reggie? Living our life.
Exactly.
Right?
And so he comes and says, here, text this number, text me your name and the number, and I will go ahead and get back in touch with you. Sure enough, as soon as we got into the van, the number had already been there, and the guy texted back. Kamta got in touch with him.
I just spoke with him just now before we started this. I'm meeting with him tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
So I was like, well, you can go in your pajamas. I would not get a number. But the thing about it is that his personality, he's very, out there. He's very enthusiastic, upbeat. People like to talk to people who have that. So if you don't have that, you need to create that. You need to speak a little faster, have a little bit more enthusiasm when you speak. So it helps, it helps when you do that.
And like I was speaking with Reggie and Roulette, and I was speaking how I developed that. I actually practice a lot. Before I used to practice in front of the mirror. I practiced on my wife Nadia, and I was showing Kenneth initially how like something I would like put my hands in my pocket.
Smile, hello.
And then when I saw myself in the mirror, I'm like this. I'm like, what the heck kind of position is that? Like, oops, straighten it out, right? and eventually it'll come to you. I mean, it's something you just do and, practice it and it comes natural,
But in one of the things is that your experience, right? If you do enough of it, you become good at it. It's an automatic thing. So my thing is go and talk to as many people, mess up if you have to, learn from it, and adjust and start changing. Because every time sometimes I would make a contact and I'm like, that's the most stupidest thing I've ever said. Like I would, it's like you walk away and you think like, oh my God, what did I just say? And it's like, it doesn't make sense. But you know what? It's like you get a number, right? That's how it used to be before, right? You just get a number and then you try to get in touch with that person. What happens? You never get in touch with them because they're probably thinking the same thing. Oh my God, what kind of question did this girl just ask me? But you know what? You learn from everything that you do. You learn, you try. It's this whole business. The beauty about this is that you're not investing $1 million. So if you make a mistake here and there, it's okay.
And some words that I use, like if it's a gentleman or so, I just say, okay, brother, nice to meet you. right? And with a nice tone of voice, and look forward to talking to you again, or look forward to an extended relationship, right? You know, those kinds of things I use. So some people are looking for it. I just want to be a natural, regular person. You understand? So like when we meet with Ulisa today, when Nadia was not there, what was some of the things that I did? I asked her for where she's from. Right? I know she said from El Salvador. So I said, here, well, is that a nice country? What's going on there? And she just talking everything. Then Nadia and her met, or later on, what were they talking? They were talking about food. What kind of food they cook, tamales, and you know, right? And about how her mother like this, and her mother only like the free-range chicken, eggs, and all of that stuff. You see, that's how we build our rapport and our friendship and trust, because that's what people like to talk
about themselves.
Right.
If you read skills with people, people love to talk about themselves, right? That's it. You just let them talk. You know, just let them talk, chime in, you know, have a dialogue. It's not a question answer session. It's a dialogue. We're both talking, we're having a good time. And I think that's the way it's supposed to be.
And once we build that rapport, now there's business. We have to do the legal part of it. Right. So I asked her here. I asked her, what is your expectations that from this business? And she said, well, I want to be financially free. So I said, well, I'm going to tell you what is our expectations of you. Right? So do you mind if I ask you some questions? We expect that you're going to be attending meetings on this day and do these things here. So are you willing to change your buying habits, change your daily, weekly, monthly habits, attend the conference and all of that stuff, right? And we say, what's the word? I keep forgetting the word.
Basically, he says we're very transparent about everything.
Right.
About everything.
I don't know why I keep forgetting that word. I forgot it. What is that word again, right?
We're very transparent about everything in the business because we're looking for the right partner. And we always say that. We're looking for the right partner. You know, it's a partnership. And of course, we talk right there about honoring the partner. And something that we have to add that we didn't do in the past is the volume thing. Right. Okay. So what we did is that we right there and then addressed the 150 points. It's about $450. Is that a problem? Is that something that you think you're gonna? She said no. No. She said I spend about $15 to $20 a day, coffee, bagels, lunch, and all these different things. So I says, okay, great. So we will show you how you can cut back on, instead of buying those things, how you can use the meal bars, the excess energy, and all this, the water, perfect water, things that you can put your money back into your business. And she was fine with it. She said, I have absolutely no problem. So the thing about it, absolutely. And we have I think last Pase, we went over the budget with Shauna. And basically, you know, she went over with Kenneth, myself, and Kanta. And basically what she was talking about is what we talked about, where you put, you pay yourself, you know, basically you pay yourself at retail, and your credit card, of course, is charged wholesale. So that difference between the wholesale retail, you minus it and you put that money into your business account.
Then we have the whole day.
Right. So we will go over all that in details when we go over a budget session. But that is really, really important to know that you can, by the end of the third or fourth month, your business is actually funding itself in terms of the product. So that's buying products and doing 150 should never be a problem. If it's single, you know, not a problem. Okay. So I think that's it.
Let me finish up here. So one thing they mentioned about there earlier, you guys are on still, Sile?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
One thing they mentioned here earlier is that feeling that you get also when you leave. You know, how did you feel after you did this follow-up one or, you know, BP one? How did you feel? Did it go nice? Was it right? Was it a good feeling? Was it an excited feeling on both of your part? Right? I can be excited, but that potential partner is not excited. Right? So this thing here is a whole lot more feelings than the legalistic part of it. The legalistic part you can go through in no time. Right? But that feeling part of it, you gotta get incorporated, connect with it. And how you know if you're connected? There's a common thing that people laugh with each other. right? Like your friends kind of thing, right? You know, trust, and that's how trust built, right? Like she trusted Naja and I to come home here to get some vitamin tablets, you know, right? And so this is pretty much it here. So for today, I like how the huddling is going. If anybody else have any comment about the huddle,
anything that they have done in terms of the BP2 or follow-up to that they'd like to share, because we want to hear. Because I just say something about mine. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
John, you want to go? You can go.
Yeah, I can go real quick before Rod takes over. So recently I had so I kind of had an MG3 then BP1. So MG2, he was reading the book, but he sounded like he was still stuck on a couple of things. So I met with him again and we talked it out some more. And then but it was after, it was like a Wednesday. So it was after the open. So I had a board plan 1 with him on Friday. And so at the board plan, I just sat with him. We were in Starbucks. I had my tablet. I was just going through the presentation, but we talked mostly for like 5-10 minutes, and we set that time because he had to work because he does security, so he had to go to work at 7. So I said, okay, let's do 5 to kind of give him some headway, some time before he has to go into this traffic that we have up here in Virginia. So and even before the plan, he said, he's like, you know, I really appreciate you showing me this, and you know, because you didn't have to show me this at all. And even though, even if I don't get in or whatever happens, you know, you open up my mind to a whole new perspective. And I was transparent when I was like, you know what, that's my goal, regardless of what happens. You know, whether you get in this or not, I want you to have your mind open to this whole new paradigm, basically. And he's like, yeah, I really appreciate that. And so when we went to board plan 1, he started hitting me with a lot of questions, and I was like, you know what, I can answer one of them, but just for the sake of time, you know, let me get through this. And then, you know, by the time I got through, before I even could finish, he started asking more questions. And I was like, hey man, look, write these down because we're gonna meet up again so we can talk about these questions, concerns you have. He's like, okay, cool. So I set up a board plan 2 with him for Tuesday for the open, because he told me straight up, he's like, look, my days from Wednesday all the way to Sunday is hectic. Monday is pretty hectic. Tuesday, you know, is I don't know really until Sunday. So I was like, okay, cool. Well, how about this? Let's set up a follow-up on Tuesday before this meeting. And then if all those goes well, then possibly I can get you into, we can see my mentor to go to the meeting. Well, not my mentor, the team I work with, since I told him, was like, my mentor's actually in Georgia. So, you know, unless you want to fly there, you know, you have to meet the team here. He's like, okay, that's cool. Yeah. So really, I'm saying all this because you have to adapt to this, because I could have said, oh, well, that's too bad. You know, like Kenneth said, you know, I'm not gonna cut him because of his schedule. So like, that's like, he has to work. He has to, you know, make a living. You know, he's secure. He works security. He works from 7 to 7 sometimes. You know, he's doing all this. I was like, okay, so I had to adapt. So, but I can feel like we have a good relationship between them, because every time we meet up, we're laughing, we're having a good time. And even, you know, we get to legalistic, like for instance, I shared the share talks. He was like, he texted, he's like, hey man, the share talks ain't working, or the stuff you sent me, the link's not working. I was like, oh really? He's like, yeah, they're not playing a video. I told him it's an audio. And then in between our conversation, he asked, oh, so how much does it cost? You know, I want to know how much it costs, this and that. I was like, write those questions down, and I answer them. I'm not trying to put you out, just saying, no, write all these down, and I answer them when we meet on Tuesday. He's like, okay, good, great, awesome. And so, but also another thing is that when you're connected with them, and I saw this in myself. Don't get too anxious because I was talking more about like I was jumping ahead basically in the process even before we got there, and so I had to slow myself down. So what I mean by that is like when we were doing bullet point 1, I was already talking about bullet point 2, follow up to whatever, just kind of lay it out. But also like I told him Tuesday, since if all else goes well, make sure you dress to impress or whatever. If you get a chance to come to the board plan. So I kind of laid that out early. So just in case, if he does, worst case scenario, he doesn't and he leaves, whatever, fine. But if he does, then he'll be able to come see the plan. I also meet some of the team up here, because definitely you want to come dressed and impressed when you come in a gala open, because I'm telling you right now, it's so many people there, especially with prospects and stuff. So and I told him, I was like, and he was like, awesome. He's like, okay, I understand that. Cool, great. So like I said, it's a lot of stuff that you see when you first do it, especially if you're coming out. And see, that's 100% right. Like I listened to follow up 1, follow up 2, and before I was at meet and greet 2, and I was listening to that, and it helped me not necessarily follow exactly what they did, but have a sense of the framework to where I could adapt to his to him. And so yeah, that's pretty much it.
One of the things that Nadia and I do, the MG1, is that we kind of lay out what we're going to do. I tell them, hey, listen, it's going to be a 6-step process that we're going to meet. Are you patient? I said, today we're not going to give you any information whatsoever about the business. And there's going to be a question and answer period when we're going to get there. So right now, I'm not going to give you, I'm not answering any question. If you're patient, we're going to go through the process. If not, then the process is over. Right? But so far we have never, once we explain, you see, people are easy to work with. That's what I'm learning. If you explain to them what you're doing, right, they will go with it, right? And so that's one of the things that you can do, lay out what you're going to be doing with them, so they know it, right? Well,
anybody else have something? Anyone else?
Yes, Rodney's here.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hey, Rodney!
Buddy. Hey guys, Rodney Wilson here, proudly sponsored in the business, applying C-Lay Wilson, up to Kenneth Drake and Andre Gonzalez out of Hampton, Georgia, up to Compton, Adi Prasad, up there in Stockbridge, and then all the way up to Sanjeev Mishra Sahai, to Kumar, and the Galaxy. So I pretty much jumped in on a follow-up to, yeah, this situation is different for this guy. I've been meeting with on the behalf of Aaron. So long story short, he saw the plan sometime last year. So C-Lay decided to rope him back through the process. He came back to see the plan again. So we had to get a guy that was pre-processed, right? If that makes sense.
Yes.
So C-Lay started it off by taking him through MG1, MG2-ish type deal, right?
The whole thing has been like that.
Yeah. So the whole thing is flipped now because he had already known what we were talking about, but C-Lay still took him through MG1, MG2, made sure that she addressed all the red flags there. And he's been coming out consistently to the open meeting, the board plans, maybe 3 now, 4 now, something like that. So he's at like BP4. But yeah, so he's at follow-up 2. That's the step he's at right now, because he had financial challenges about getting launched, right? So when C-Lay transitioned him to me, because I'm getting more into Aaron's business and taking more over the legs now that school is coming down too.
Yes.
So so I'm at follow-up 2 with him, and he had mentioned before to C-Lay that he wouldn't be able to get launched until the end of May. But Sanjeev is, yes, recommending that book, The Compound Effect. This guy, C-Lay gave him a copy. He read the whole thing, took notes, and now he's tracking his finances, his spending every day, right? Now, because of that, instead of getting launched at the end of May, he's gonna do it at the end of April.
Wow, beautiful.
Right? So he found the money to get launched.
Wow.
Right? So me and Roger kind of tag team the follow-up too with him because we were just hanging out at headquarters, Starbucks. So we were just hanging out. Roger was there doing meetings as usual. So we were like tag along, just sitting. Right. So we sat in, had a good time, connected with him, and before I was going in with the mentality of I gotta sit with this guy, do a budget session, and help him find some money to get launched. But through the power of the book, I didn't even have to do that. He kind of figured it out on his own.
Wow.
Right? So he's at the point now where he is ready for launch. So what we did at this follow-up too was we laid out what's upcoming, right? We told him, yo, Comp is coming to town next week. He was like, oh, I'm already there. So he's ready to see Comp to do the BP in town. We told him about the BBS coming up. So we told him the price of it, the gas, how much to save. He said, now that he's tracking his finances, he will be at the BBS with us. No questions asked, right? Yes. And another thing I told him too is, man, you keep coming to the BP, but you're missing out on the training. You're missing out on the trainings afterwards. So me and Roger was telling them, you're missing the meeting after the meeting. You know? So he was like, man, I want to be in there. I gotta get there. I was like, I gotta get launched so I can learn this stuff with y'all. And so we are just promoting, what we do in the business too, right? So he was excited for that. He was also excited. He asked us some questions like, how do you all learn about the products? We were like, no brainer. Pase. So we were like, that's another meeting you will get access to learn about the products in the business when you get launched. So I'm saying all of this is gonna come when you get launched. Right. So the thing is, you need to get launched. Right. So he's like, I need to move this thing forward. We need to get this rolling. I was like, oh, he was like, I got the money now. You know, I pretty much have the money now. But I was like, hey, let me talk to my coaches. You know, and I think at the end of the month would be the best time so that you can start fresh in the beginning of the month. So we have them set up. I like the ideas about, you know, making it an event. Yes. So I'm thinking we could do that for him too. True. Make it like a special event because he's been coming around showing, you know, honoring the partnership pretty much, such that he finished the business of the 21st century before launch. Also, he finished the compound effect.
I'm going to lend him that one, the household goals.
He just got it from me.
Wow, good. Okay, good.
What happened was after. what happened was after. Oh, can I say something?
We don't always say go white, Chile.
Yeah, been going wide. Been there. Yes, been there. Yes.
So what happened at this follow-up too was that he was saying, yeah, I'm done with the compound effect. So I'm like, you know, we had just asked him like, what you gonna read next? So he was open to reading. So I was like, household of gold is a good one. Yes. I said I got a copy in the house. Beautiful. So I was like, I'll get it to you within a day or two. He was like, oh, 2? He was like, I need it like now. So I said, okay, within 24 hours, I'll make sure you get it. So last night, he actually stopped at my house to pick up the book. And he was like, yo, it's thin. I'm going to be finished this within like 2 days or something. So he was like, just what is this book going to help me with? So that's another thing too. I didn't even read the book. Yes, no problem. But I know the purpose of the book because I've studied the process at Sanjeev talking about it. Right? So I said the purpose of the book is to get your finances in order and to make your household an asset, turn it into gold, pretty much. You know, yes. Just summarizing. So he was like, oh man, I'm ready. So he'll be getting launched. I think we set up for April 30th. Was it? 29th day. It's the end of the month, right? So we're gonna get him launched and then have it like brand new for May, get the PV done and stuff like that. So he's good to go. He's also coming to the Amber Regional Experience. Nice. He wants to come with us to that. He just wants to know everything about the business. Nice. Right? Nice. So really good candidate there, honoring the partnership. Sile started it off with Aaron and just made it really easy for us to like finish off the launch with him. So
Okay,
we have a new member there, getting launched within a couple of weeks.
Weeks, yeah.
Very, very excited to see you come to
Yes.
next week.
Yes.
So appreciate you coming.
Let's go. Thank you, Rodney. Thank you, Rodney. Thank you.
So,
What did you say? Ken, I had something to say.
yeah. No, I was just wondering, if he's getting launched, you guys have talked to him about doing ditto.
Yes.
Yeah.
During the financial conversation, because we actually did a follow-up, so we did the whole process with him. The only thing that stopped him was the actual registration fee, but redirecting it. We're doing what Shauna says. We bring him on the full 150 right away, how much ever he can handle. And I know Rodney's gonna be doing that with him. But that's the next meeting. So I think Shauna mentioned that how much ever they can do, put something on Ditto, and then we work with them and get them to that standard as we go. But yes, he's already spending that money already. He already, just the same thing he shared with Rodney, the same thing he shared with me, that he uses a lot, he buys a lot of snacks, and he does all of that stuff anyway. So he knows that he has the money. It's just that us, tracking it. So I'm very proud of Rodney. Thank you so much, Rodney. Follow through right there. Good stuff. Thank you.
All right. Also, what I would like to share with you guys, in speaking with Sanjeev today, he's very excited about how we are making progress in the process. He is going to come out here. He's going to let me know Monday exactly when he's coming out here. It's going to be next month, sometime close to the end of next month. And so I'm going to let you know in advance also. We want everybody coming out here to meet Sanjeev. All right? And okay, so that's one of the big events for us for next month. Sanjeev has never put together a team group meeting for us, and we want to impress him big time. All right? What I want to tell you also is that you need to get out there and get a bunch of numbers. People are looking, like as you can see from last night. Today I got an appointment. It don't always work that way. But if you have enough numbers and things in the hopper, I want to tell you what Nadia and I and Navina have going on. We have a guy named Joniel. He's about to launch. Carlos is a BP2. Michael is a BP1. Russian and Nikki are BP1. Will, I'm doing an MG1 tomorrow. Tony, the police officer, on MG1. Nadia is doing an MG2 with that young lady. And also, in terms of numbers of people that we haven't got to yet, we got like 10 numbers also between Naveen and Nadia and myself. So as you can see, at each phase, I have multiple things going on. I got 2 BP1s, 2 MG1s, 2 BP2s, okay? And that's how come we're having each week pretty much a launch for somebody, either for personally or in depth, because we launched for Miss Carol and we launched for Reggie. Okay, we launched for ourselves. Okay, so you see, we work in personal with personal depth and also group depth. All right. So this is what you need to start your schedule to start looking like in order for you to get that momentum going. Okay.
And I have 9 people in the process myself. So.
All right. Make some football.
All righty. Voting, everybody.
Bye. Thank you. Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.